I want to thank President Garber for his incredible stewardship of this graduating class. Fantastic job, sir. Really nice. Really nice. Normally I would give you an A+, but in keeping with upcoming Harvard policy, I'm adjusting your grade to a C-. Right now, we'd all be listening to delightful Calvinist reggae. Of course, perhaps the biggest issue facing this institution is that the federal government of the United States is suing our university. Yeah. Many people think I've come today to defend Harvard. Well, sorry, those people are wrong.
Billions of dollars has been paid to Harvard. How ridiculous is that? Where the students can't add 2 and 2 and they go to Harvard. So why would they get in? How can somebody that can't add or has very basic skills, how do they get into Harvard? Why are they there? And then you see those same people picketing and screaming at the United States.
Why are the American taxpayers subsidizing a university that has billions of dollars in the bank already? And we certainly should not be funding a place where such grave anti-Semitism exists.
Not only am I not against these lawsuits, I'm here to announce that I'm joining them. I, too, am suing Harvard. I'm suing Harvard for the cast iron bunk bed that greeted me upon my arrival at Hallworthy 16 my freshman year. A bed that has since been confiscated by The Hague as an instrument of divine cruelty. I'm suing Harvard for my less than spectacular undergraduate sex life. Harvard, I'll see your ass in court. Yes, I'm confident that my claims will have more merit than those filed by the President of the United States. Yes. Churchill do that? He did not.
People that maybe know less about comedy or haven't given it a lot of thought say, oh my God, Trump is president. This must be so great for comedy. And I think it's not. Some comics go the route of, I'm going to just say F Trump all the time, or that's their comedy. And I think, well, now a little bit you're being co-opted because you're so angry. You've been lulled into just saying F Trump, F Trump, F Trump. Screw this guy. You've now put down your best weapon, which is being funny, and you've exchanged it for anger. Things are too serious now. Well, if you're a comedian, you always need to be funny. You just have to find a way. And you just have to find a way to channel that anger into a way that is, because good art will always be a great weapon. Will always be a perfect weapon against power. But if you're just screaming and you're just angry, you've lost your best tool in the toolbox.
CNN has no ratings because of people like you.
Well, I'm asking you about survivors of Jeffrey Epstein, Mr. President.
Jesus in the house, flow like an expectant widow.
This country that we're listening to this crazy.
The current administration feels Harvard admits too many foreign students, and who knows, they may have a point. After all, what has any foreigner ever added to our American culture? With the possible exception of music, literature, art, cuisine, fashion, architecture, dance, scientific breakthroughs, and the core of our moral codes and ethical beliefs. Seriously. Serious, if foreigners hadn't gummed up the works, right now we'd all be listening to delightful Calvinist reggae, eating savory Church of England ziti, and dancing the forbidden and sexually charged Lutheran lambada.
Do you think politically it's a good idea to put his face on a $250 bill when people are struggling to afford gas and groceries?
I don't really understand this Washington Post article. That who hears from the Post? Yeah, terribly written, terribly edited. I didn't really understand what the story was.
So politically, do you think it's a good idea though when people are struggling to afford gas and groceries?
I think that it's bifurcated. That do you think we should have a 250th anniversary, the celebration?
Well, that's happening anyway. But putting the president's face on a $250 bill.
No. But Caitlin, it's not happening anyway. It's happening because it's being funded by private citizens, by the federal government, by state governments, by municipal governments to celebrate our country. And I don't think that there's anything untoward about having the President of the United States, the person who was President of the United States, on the 250th anniversary bill.
Everywhere, June 19th. Thank you. We are living through a period of extreme narcissism. Our current leadership in Washington believes that empathy is a weakness and that our nation stands supreme and alone. And I really understand how much hard work it took for all of you to get to this point. And you should feel enormous pride just as I did. But I've found that any single achievement, like a Harvard diploma, becomes less important to me in all the very best ways when I embrace certain principles. The first is that I endeavor to always remind myself that I have done absolutely nothing alone. If I could invite everybody, alive or dead, who has contributed to my being your commencement speaker today, all of Cambridge and half of Alston would be crammed, shoulder to shoulder, with friends, family, well-wishers, writers, producers, haters, fans, and a billion chance encounters. Recognizing that my accomplishments are not just my own has given me much needed ballast throughout my life, and it really helps to spread the blame around when things go south. I always recognize the enormous role of luck in my life. Many people are happy to mistake a lucky poker hand for their own brilliance, and fighting that human instinct has kept me sane. I'm not saying the goal is to renounce accomplishments, but rather to metabolize them. I have degraded myself in Cuba, Ghana, Korea, Armenia, half of Europe, Argentina, Thailand, Mexico, and Greenland, where I visited a real estate office and tried to buy the country.
We need Greenland.
When I travel to another land, every quality I have discussed, community, adaptation, and a sincerely humble approach are all necessary. When you don't speak the language, no one truly cares where you went to college, and you have no choice but to make friends. So maybe my wish for you is not that Harvard becomes the last thing people know about you, but instead that Harvard becomes the least important thing people know about you. Because your real education starts now, with friends you've made and friends you've yet to meet, with stunning successes and miserable defeats, and with a humble acceptance that your greatness comes from the mess around you, not despite it.